Hey y'all, I just made it to LGA Airport in New York City. I am tired. It was a straight flight from New Orleans. I came straight from work and now I'm waiting on my ride. Hopefully I can finish this book before tomorrow. I am on page 289. I don't know what's been taking me so long to finish this book, but Legendborn, and I'm gonna get this thing signed tomorrow at BookCon. So I have an hour before my ride comes, so I'm just sitting down in the airport, hanging out, waiting. I could have took the subway. I could have took a taxi. My friend booked a car, I guess. So me and my friend booked a car, so we're just waiting on it. I didn't want to take the subway because it is 8 o'clock at night, and I have my luggage in my duffel bag and my carry-on bag. That's like 3 bags of me trying to get to the subway. So that would have been a lot coming all the way from here to get to Madison Square Garden. So yeah, I'm just hanging out, finishing up my book before my ride comes to pick me up. So let's keep watching. Let's keep going. Tomorrow it'll be what they calling it Bookchella, aka BookCon. I can't wait to share with y'all. This is my favorite ramen place in New York City. It's right next door to my hotel. I get my hotel specifically for this restaurant, and they make your order fresh. I get the spicy ramen. They give you like a little telephone booth to eat your food in, and I just love this place. I have to go to it. Me and my friend had this spot every single day we were in New York City, either for lunch or for dinner, and we kept going back, and I miss it right now. This is my second favorite place. They do like fresh tacos, and I always have to get them. This is in Madison Square Garden. Both of them are that ramen restaurant and this taco station. Number one in the city. They have a couple of them that popped up, but this one is the one I went to 3 years ago. Loved it. I had to go back, and it's always a crowd in this place. Like, people are fighting to get in there. Y'all see that lamb or chicken, whatever it is, that's spinning on that wheel back there? Baby, that thing right there, so worth it. Usually a wait line outside the door for both of these two restaurants. No matter if it's raining or not, people wait in line for them. Like, it is so delicious, so good. I am such a foodie. I got 3 tacos and a quesadilla. I overdid it. Like, I overdid myself with them. And it was such a good experience again for me seeing them again. I liked it. H&H Bagels. I went there for a pumpernickel bagel, and it was an epic fail. They said they did not make them. This place was recommended for me to try by one of my New Jersey friends. And I'm not a bagel person, but they say if you're going to get a bagel, get it in New York City. And this one, it comes with like that brown pumpernickel. I don't know if I'm saying it right. We don't eat that in Louisiana. But she's like, no, we don't have that. You want anything else? No, ma'am. That's the reason why I came. So, y'all, it ended up starting to rain in New York, and it was kind of cold. My sweater didn't have a hood, so I took the subway, which I don't mind taking the subway. It is sketchy down there, but when in Rome, you know what they say. So I went down there to that nasty subway, and this is in Madison Square Garden. It was not awful. It was okay. I just know better than to touch things. And I got a little bit lost and was like, okay, let me ask somebody, where am I catching the right train? Is the B train the same as the D train? Like, I'm trying to get to Bryant's Park. And the killing part was Bryant Park was only 1 stop up. So it took me 10 minutes to get there in the subway versus 20 minutes to get there by walking, or 24 minutes by walking. So I could have walked up the block to get them, and I ended up walking back to my hotel room because it really wasn't that bad when it wasn't raining. So the only reason why I took it is because it was raining. And you know, you got to do what the New Yorkers do. And it wasn't bad. They did have one person down there. He was singing, but other than that, it was like, okay, Stacey, you got to figure this out. And I did. What I learned from this time in this train is make sure you look up and down at the ground before you pick your seat. They had spit on that train on the ground, like globs of it. I didn't step in it, but when I was sitting down, I was looking like, ew, like this is so nasty. Can y'all guess where I'm actually suffering in this subway to get to? Yeah, we're going on a field trip. undergrounds with the Ninja Turtles, and we made it. We made it to the library, and this is the big National Library in New York City. Look at the tulips that they have growing out there. I love, love, love the tulips. Love flowers. And this is the famous lion that's outside of it, you know. I was just so taken back and just breathing this library in the fresh air. It kind of was drizzling a little bit, but not raining bad like how we get bad rain out here. So I was able to walk right out of the subway and up the stairs to this wonderful, huge, beautiful library. They had an exhibit going on, and it's the 100 years of Black culture, like research and stuff like that. So it was until May 5th, I think, and it's like this thing that they did to celebrate 100 years of Black culture in this library. So I was excited. I went, and they had a lot of people in there, but it wasn't overwhelming. Like, it wasn't too crowded, and it was a lot to take in too. So I was just like, okay, let me just go. And I had like, my friend decided that she didn't want to leave out in the rain, and then when I got in, she called me and was like, how is it? And I was like, it's great. So she wanted to come after the fact, but I was just in there vibing, looking at all the stuff, and just went in and got in with the flow of it. So these gold shoes were very creepy, extremely creepy, but it wasn't the creepiest thing I seen in that museum, not museum, but exhibit. The creepiest things that I saw Y'all, this thing creeped me out. Here it is right here. It was that original Winnie the Pooh. Like, look at those toys. That kangaroo, oh my God. That Igor or whoever it is, the tiger, that little bitty thing, that thing was creepy. So Christopher Robin or whoever with that Winnie the Pooh, absolutely not. Them things look so wore down and tore up. Those were so creepy to me. But those are the original toys from like the original toy store in New York. And they had a lot of history behind those Winnie the Pooh little gadgets. And it had a story to go with that thing too. But them things look so ate up. had so much more in that exhibit floor. Next door, they had like a sales floor where you could buy books and stuff. But as y'all know, I already shipped off my books and my luggage was borderline too heavy. So I couldn't buy any more, nothing, like not another book from New York City. But the city was definitely giving. I asked them, where's the library? And he pointed me across the street, and that's where I'm going right now to see whether the locals go to their actual quiet library to rent books and check out books and do the local stuff that they do. You know, even though New York is a huge city, they have people who are library people that need to rent out these books too. So that's where I'm going now. And it was just a short walk, like right across the street at the corner. And it was nice. Like the people that worked there were very nice and informative and quiet. Nobody was loud in that library. So I was like, let me go check and see what books they have that we don't have, or books. Do they have the same books that we have, or is it sectioned off like our library is? How big is it? I just had to put some eyes to it to see the actual New York City Library. Do you have a list of the 100 black voices that they have for the 100-year so-and-so? You see how it says 100-year reading list?
They did. Let me see if it's still there. Yeah, right. And then the printer on this floor is right over there.
The list. Let me see. What list do you have?
It's just the best books of 2025.
Can I see? I can check. Okay, yeah. I want that 100-year list too. Okay. Thank you.
Let me just do a quick search. Was it the 100 Black Voices?
Yes.
One? Okay. Let me see if we have a printable one.
Okay.
Thank you.
My BookCon experience. Yeah, it was a time. A time was had. My flight has been delayed, so I just figured I'll get on and just talk to y'all how my weekend went. So let's start. I had an issue with getting my shuttle to find me to get me to New York. And finally, I got my share ride, and it was two ladies in the back. One of the ladies, her name was Karen. Hey, Karen. She was going to BookCon like me. So we started talking about people who we wanted to see. And I was like, well, did you bring any books for the free library? She was like, no. I didn't know we were. And I was like, well, did you read this? And she was just like, no. I was like, okay, tomorrow, let's link up. I'm giving you those 2 books. So then I get to my room, check in, everything was fine. Then I give her, pack up those 2 books. Also pack up the books that I wanted to get signed the next day, on that Saturday. And y'all know I had like a big old stack of books, and I separated all the authors that I wanted to get signed and all the things. And I was like, okay, that was great. It went great. So me and my friend, we just went to check things out, and we got there at 8:15, and we walked right in because we weren't in that VIP mess. Like, it wasn't as bad when we first got there for the regular line, but it still was a line. It started building and growing and everything. So we were just like, oh my gosh. So when we got in, we were in one line for like maybe 13 minutes to be exact. And we went to the help desk. They told us, okay, show them your code to get in. They gave us I think I still got the bracelet on. Yeah. The BookCon bracelets. It's what we all got here. And some other people were in the ABA line, which we figured out. I guess that was like the special needs line. Fine. So that line was parallel to our line. It was both moving. We walked in. My code wouldn't work. And I'm panicking like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get trampled by the regulars. So by this time it was 8:30-ish. So they finally figured it out, got the code to get me in. We walked right to the entrance to look at all the floors. And then we figured out where everything was. And we went back to the exhibit floor. And then that's when they gave you it was open and clear. Nobody was in yet. So we got to see where everything was. and see how they were giving out their arcs. And they would give you like a schedule of when they would drop, but that meant be there an hour before to get in line. So once you figure that out, you pretty much would know how to get the arcs for a certain booth. Some booths, source, you ain't stand a chance getting a book out of them. That was just so unorganized. The was it Macmillan or something? I gotta look at Macmillan Publishing. They were like there for a vibe, but they weren't organized with their booth and their lines. They gave me a little bit of a hassle to get books out of them, but for the most part, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get in line, and they would just they would have no line, and then suddenly they'll announce a line, and people that were already formed their own line would create that line. If you're on that side, it's fine. But what about people that was in front of the no line? So the no line thing was kind of like annoying a little bit. But I'm like, I've been here for an hour. You know my face, girl. You know I was here. Yeah. So, and the people around me were like, yeah, she was here. So it was a lot of that throughout the whole time. And it got a little bit of, you got to have patience. And if you don't do well with crowds and tuning and blocking everything out, I can see how people suffered. Me, I was just there like talking to everybody that's around me and making my way and making my friends with people that I can like in arm's reach. Everything else I blocked out, tuned out, zoned out. So that kind of helped me. And we just waited in line and we got to know each other and passed out each other's socials. So it was all good. I had a good time. So when we got back from one booth, I had a set schedule. So we did the arcs in the morning, and I had all of my signings in the afternoon at 12 o'clock. From 8:30 to 12, I was I guess hustling to get arcs. I wasn't pushing, I wasn't screaming, I wasn't doing anything weird. I was just like there an hour before they dropped, and I ended up getting like 3 because I was basically on that area. I didn't worry about going to any panels because we went to one panel of the Heated Rivalry, but I didn't read that or watch that. I'm not familiar with that author, so I wasn't even interested in getting into the panel, even though I had a reservation for it. I was like, okay, I don't want any spoilers for the book, so I just passed on that, which was great. Now, everybody else, different groups were going into the show. Me and my friend were like, let's just try and get the book. So we got the books, and then she was ready to go back to the room at 12:30. We stayed in Madison Square Garden. She went back to the room. I dropped off my duffel bag of books at the room and went back with the ones that I needed to get signed. So I went back with my books to get signed, and I had a schedule mapped out on who was doing the signings in the indie alley, like the hall where all they were, and I had a reservation for it. And again, I had the VIP, so I could just walk up and get it signed and go on by my business. I had an hour to spare, so I would get one signed and go wait in line for the next person. And that just happened until I'm like, who I got next? And I did that. It took an hour to wait, not in line, but for them to, once the line was moving, it was moving. So I was done early, so I just waited in line early. Wish there was no line, so I had no problem with no lines. And so after that, I went home. So I did not eat lunch. I had an orange in my bag. I drank my water. I had breakfast. And then afterwards, I would get my dinner at night and go to bed, stay up talking and pack. I packed up my UPS box that I had a printed label for to ship it for the next day. Well, whenever I got to leave. So that box was already taped up and packed. So the next day, I went with, I had 2 books that needed to be signed. Chloe Gong's and Julie Murphy. And I had them in my duffel bag. And that wasn't until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had all morning to hang out and to see how to figure out how to get the arcs. So I got the Penguin House, which was one ticket they gave you in the morning. And my signing for that was at, I think, 2 or 3 o'clock. I don't remember. And then Bookfinity, theirs was, they would say, we'll have a book that's about to drop in an hour if you want to get in line. And I'd be dazzled. Yeah, I'd be dazzled until it was time for them to drop their art. And I was right there in line. And theirs was the easiest and the fastest and the nicest group. They'll give you a line will be formed like 30 minutes before, and they'll write your name on a sticky note, and they'll number it. Like you're number 1, my friend number 2, so on, until they run out. And it was like 105 books. Easy. Wait in line. You got your ticket. If you didn't get no 100 in the 105, you didn't have a point to be in line. So that was good. And I got 2 books from them. And then Macmillan, theirs, you waiting in the area, line to line, and then you might get a sticky note, you might not. So I was there, so I got one, but they had that line out the door, and people were just like, whatever. And Source, who was it? Simon, theirs in the back corner, they were gifting out tickets like by hand. They have a group of people, and they'll have like 5 dispersed people go out with tickets and give them to people in the area. So that was my very last book that I got, because you have to like basically be in a lucky one to reach and grab a ticket after you waited an hour. And if you wait an hour and you don't get a ticket, that sucked, So that was just something just wild. It was wild. So I ended up getting a lot of books, but you got to have a lot of patience for it and do well with crowds. I feel sorry for the people who have I know a lot of book readers. It wasn't an event for classic general book readers. This is something you had to be able to adjust and to like easily pivot when something was not going your way. So it was a lot of pivoting throughout the day, and it was a little frustrating. I can see how people got mad, but I enjoyed myself. It was fine, but it was a little overstimulating. I would say if you're gonna go, just have patience and have no expectations. Some people didn't get anything. Some people got a lot. Maybe they could fix that a little bit, but I'm not complaining because I was one of the ones that got a lot. So, yeah.